Hi, this is Richard from Aston Keeper, and as you probably know, that one of the big challenges with the VH platform cars is steaming up headlights. Now, over the years, there's been a fantastic kit developed by Ian here from AM Upgrades.
Hello.
That clears out the V8 Vantage and the early DB9 and the DBS headlights, and it's been really effective, so much so that during the winter, most customers really want this, simply because the componentry inside the headlights are so expensive, and if moisture gets on the Vantage, into the LED indicators, or into the projector lamps, it can be very, very expensive to replace those headlights.
I've known of some people with the condensation forming so heavily, fogged up, that they've actually failed on the MOT day.
Yeah.
So they've then had to go away, try to get them cleared out, to then return to try and get it through the MOT, which is a very costly procedure and time, let alone then if they might have to replace them. Especially with one LED pop, that's it, MOT failure. So a very costly system.
Yeah, and Aston Martin's solution was to cable tie bags of silica gel in the back of the headlights. Which
Well, it did work for a week.
Yeah, and then it
but it's
rained.
still a slow process. So you still would get the condensation. It just helped remove that condensation, after you've parked the car. And then 2 hours later, you might then get a clear headlight. But a week later, the silica gel bags were then so moist, you had to then take them out. Total waste of time.
The most I've found has been 10 packets of gel inside a headlight. So much so they'd melted to the back of the bulb and had started to go brown because they were burning from the heat. So it could have been a fire risk, all of those packets in there. So the headlight vent kit is the real solution. And now we've got one that will do the DB9.2 like this, the Rapide and the Vanquish.
And the Vanquish, yes. This was a harder procedure because the other lights, you could do the venting system straight behind the bulbs. On this one, because it's a deeper light unit, we had to submerge the actual fan system within. We call it our periscope version, where it's actually submerged within the light unit with filtered tubes as well, bringing in the fresh air, and then an extraction tube to take out the damp, moist air. And the idea with the sensor system on it, which automatically operates the fans when the car's running, is that when you park up, the fans will still continue just for a short while, can be up to about an hour, but it's so minimal power usage that you will not affect the battery at all. But it will just then keep it clear, keep it dry. Look at it as like a shower cubicle. The idea is you go in, you're using the shower, you get the steamy air, you get the condensation. If you haven't got an expel air fan with fresh air coming in, drawing out, it would just stay there. And that's the idea of the venting system, really, that it would just draw out that moist air and put fresh air in there, dry out any of the LEDs. You could still, on certain days, get a formation of condensation. You can't stop that, but the idea with these systems is it will remove it and then dry out the cubicle within inside. Similar, like you say, I've had some where I've taken the headlights out, they're so riddled with the condensation inside. Take them out, and there's probably about half a cup full of water in there. It just gets, for some reason, I suppose with the heat, pressure, it draws in. There's so many leak areas, it draws in that moist air, and because it's just trapped. And the idea with the venting system is it will draw that out and put fresh air in there, cool down the components, and give it longevity with its lifespan.
Fantastic. So the kit is designed for very keen amateur, keen DIY car enthusiasts. Otherwise, you can have it fitted by a number of professionals, and Aston Keeper here, we'd be happy to help.
Yeah, and you get a full a colour manual to show you the procedure of all the parts, pictures of all the areas, so you can't really miss which area you're in. The separate components all labelled and numbered, so you don't just get a bag full of components and you have to go, what am I going to do with these?
Yes.
And the procedure is literally a DIY type of procedure, all connectors that just push together. You don't have to do any sort of soldering, wiring, drilling. It will just fit to your existing wiring looms and nuts and bolts.
And if you wanted to sell the car, if somebody wanted to remove it, it's a very straightforward process.
Oh yes, yeah. And it is a selling point. We have known of 1 or 2 customers that's one of the first things that they're asked are, do your headlights full fog, condensation, and they have to say no. I've got this venting system, and sometimes they can even in that theory probably even gain more on their price of their vehicle because the problem's solved.
So many of the main dealers actually come to you or I to fit their vent kits. So the Aston main dealers know that this is the real permanent solution because the silica gel bags will just have cars coming back under warranty, which is the last thing they want.
That's right. Yes.
Excellent.
And the system, touch wood, has been quite faultless. We've in about 6-7 years we've only had a couple of fans have a bit of a problem, and they've been about 5-6 years old. So and these are cars that have been hitting 70,000-80,000 miles. So they seem to have really worked very, very well for the amount of use that they have.
Long-term solution.
That's right. Fix. Yes, that's right. Yeah. And if there are any sort of problems, please just contact us. We're here to help 24/7. We'll be pleased to help.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.